All right, let's talk about something I think so many of us know, but we just don't really talk about it. That sinking feeling, that little jolt of dread you get when your phone suddenly starts to ring. Okay, just picture this for a second. The screen lights up, your phone's on vibrate, and that low buzz against the table is literally the only sound in the room. You see it. Your hand might even start to move towards it, but then you freeze. You don't pick it up, you just watch. You wait for it to stop.
And the moment it stops, the screen goes black and phew, this wave of relief just washes over you. A couple minutes later, you pick up your phone and type out that perfectly polite, perfectly normal message. "So sorry, was in the middle of something. What's up?" Does that sound at all familiar?
You see, this isn't just about choosing not to answer a call. No, for a lot of people, it's way deeper than that. It's a really complex internal conflict, a silent struggle that gets misunderstood all the time. And this right here is the absolute heart of the issue. It's this huge gap between how things look and how they actually feel. On the outside, the world might see laziness or think you're being rude or that you're just ignoring someone. But what's actually going on inside your head, it's a whole different story. It's a silent struggle, a deep-rooted, almost protective reaction that really has nothing to do with the person on the other end of the line. So let's dig into that a little more, that external perception. Because society, well, it has some pretty strong opinions about not answering the phone, and let's just say they're not usually very positive.
Yeah, not picking up is often seen as a straight-up character flaw. It gets judged as irresponsible, or even worse, people see it as arrogance, like you just don't care. But the truth is, this isn't about your character. It's a psychological response. It's a pattern that's deeply wired into people who might just feel the world on a slightly different frequency.
So, if it's not a character flaw, then what in the world is it? Well, let's actually get into the science of it, because what's happening inside our brains is pretty fascinating.
Psychologists often call this call anxiety. And what it all boils down to is one simple thing: control. Think about it. With a text message, you're in the driver's seat. You get to pause, think, choose your words carefully. You can even edit your feelings before you hit send. But a phone call? Nope. That's live. It's happening in real time, and there is absolutely no backspace. Now, this is where it gets really, really interesting. Let's look at what's happening neuroscientifically. When that phone rings, your amygdala, which is basically your brain's little threat detector, can just light up. For someone with call anxiety, that ringtone isn't a friendly jingle, it's a blaring alarm. You have no idea what they're going to say, what they're going to ask, how you'll need to react, and all that uncertainty, it just eats up a huge amount of mental energy.
And you know, a reaction this strong doesn't just appear out of thin air. A lot of the time, the roots of this behavior can be traced way, way back to our earliest environments and the responses we learned without even realizing it.
And this explains perfectly how it develops. So imagine you grew up in a home where an unexpected call or even a knock on the door usually meant trouble was coming. A demand, a complaint, some kind of problem. Your nervous system starts to adapt. It learns that being invisible, well, that's the safest way to be. And pretty soon, not answering the phone isn't a choice anymore. It becomes this unconscious, automatic survival strategy, all designed to protect your inner peace.
Okay, but here's where the whole story takes a fascinating turn. This aversion to phone calls, it's actually hiding a surprising paradox.
Just let that sink in for a second. The very same people who avoid calls are often the ones who are the absolute best at having deep, meaningful connections. So you see, they're not avoiding connection itself, they're avoiding this superficial form of connection that a random call can sometimes represent. So why does this happen? Well, for one, small talk can be completely draining to them. But if you need someone to really listen, to talk through someone's pain, or to dive into a complex topic for hours, they are 100% there for you. They're fully present. They just value their autonomy and their mental space so highly that an unexpected call can feel like a total intrusion, like someone else deciding how their time and focus should be spent.
So look, if any of this is resonating with you, if you're that person who watches their phone ring, this final section is for you. This is about reframing that silence, not as a weakness, but as a strength.
First and most importantly, you are not broken. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you for feeling this way.
This hesitation is actually a part of your sensitivity. It just means you're someone who likely processes the world very deeply. And let's be honest, this world can feel overwhelmingly loud sometimes.
Choosing not to answer isn't an act of hate towards someone else, it's an act of responsibility to yourself. You are preserving your energy. You are protecting your peace. Because for you,
Communication isn't just about words, it's about being in the right mental state to truly connect.
So the next time you let it ring, try to let go of the guilt. You're not ignoring someone, you're just returning to the quiet space where you feel safe. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Instead of calling it anxiety or avoidance, what name will you give this silence?